JFK has always been an inspiration to me. When the Kennedy Center asked if I would consider a piece about him, the first thing I thought of was his moonshot speech.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain?
I wanted to find a poet who could be paired with JFK, and I was drawn to Walt Whitman. He has an amazing poem called Passage to India, which is about American exploration and ingenuity.
It will not be one man going to the moon. We make this judgment affirmatively. It will be an entire nation. For all of us must work to put him there.
With this piece, I looked at the Whitman and some of the juiciest lines, the most vivid imagery. And then I reached out to the JFK archives and said, is there a way that I can search every single word he's spoken? They told me how I can look through these databases and look for specific words and phrases. And so whether it be the word star or moon or exploration, I was able to find a list of all of the ways that JFK used that word. So once I had these different speech fragments that I wanted to use, then I had to find a way to actually integrate them sonically into the orchestra. What's tough is that JFK speaks in a very clipped Bostonian way, and he was often doing it at these mega rallies where you have a lot of crowd noise, you have huge amounts of reverb within the recordings.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
So the solution is kind of a combination of old-fashioned orchestration and 21st century sound design. It might not sound complicated to just take a speech and make it work, but it's kind of a lot of work to filter out one particular piece of crowd noise. You gotta do a lot of time stretching of JFK's voice so that we can understand what he's saying in a giant space like a concert hall. Then, integrating the orchestra, I found that I had to make sure that whenever he's speaking, the orchestra kind of has just a moment of being frozen. When you hear a human voice, you immediately just listen to that, and everything else becomes background. When JFK starts speaking, suddenly everybody listens to his voice, which would directly conflict sonically with the orchestra. So the way I orchestrated it, as soon as his voice stops, then the orchestra blooms again.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
My goal in integrating electronic sounds in the orchestra is to write a piece of music that not only viscerally kicks you, like changes your blood pressure, but also has something intellectually stimulating, whether it be a narrative or a bigger concept. If you can get both of those human conditions kind of working together in the same piece of music, then you can really travel into deep space.